A is for Allah, nothing but Allah. Ba is the beginning of Bismillah. Ta is for taqwa, bewaring of Allah. And Tha is for thawab, a reward. Ja is for Jannah, the garden of paradise. Ha is for Hajj, the blessed pilgrimage. Kha is for Khatam, the seal of the prophethood given to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to our program, Learn Arabic. Today we're going to discuss the Arabic alphabet, Dhal. And of course, a lot of people may be confused between Dhal and Zayn. And I think that we can discuss more about Dhal, how can we write it and how can we pronounce it, and how can we use that practically when we write a lot of words in the Arabic language. But first of all, I have to present all my guests today. Welcome Khalid from Ghana, Muhammad from England, and Usama from Egypt, and Nabil from Pakistan. Welcome, Usama, to our program. Where have you been? It has been a long time, actually. We were talking more about the Arabic alphabet, starting from Alif, and we ended in the last episode with Dal. Today we would like to discuss more about Dal.
I think
Yep.
the way I can see in the presentation, written Dal. Is it when you recite that in English? It's
Right.
come closer to Dal.
Okay. Well, I think that when it comes in comparison between Dal and Dhal, especially when it comes in the form of Dhal, I think it would be very interesting to find a lot of similarities. Probably the only difference that we can see in both letters is just one
Dot.
dot.
One dot, yeah.
Right, right.
It's written above the letter.
Exactly right. Yes, Khalid.
And I think the difference between Tha and Dhal is very close, you know?
Exactly. I think so. I think something like that probably can be...
You know, the confusion about that and that.
Exactly.
Right.
Something like that probably can be
Put your
found.
tongue in the same place, you know? They just
Exactly.
change
Well, I don't think that is Dhal, Dhal, and Tha. Exactly right. I think that both of
Yeah.
them...
There is difference like that, ta and da.
Exactly
in English,
right.
and same dal and tha.
Right.
Arabic,
Exactly.
yes.
But I would
Yeah.
say... Yeah.
I think Tha is more with Sin than with Dal.
in Tha.
Tha is more with Sin,
Right.
similar than Dal.
Right. Right.
Because
Exactly.
Dal, I think, is much of a thicker voice than Dal.
Right.
Force, I think, is probably more force in it than Tha. There's less force in it.
Here's the question that I would like to ask you. Can we find Dhal in English, Sama?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, actually we have that, which comes to which is written orthography as TH.
Oh, right. That's
Yeah, it's
right.
written, yeah, then,
But in English also, Sama, we have TH, which is
Yeah.
pronounced as Tha.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
That means in English we have, for example, TH pronounced in Arabic in two different letters.
Yeah, but
Yep.
I find that there is a difference here. There are different, in Arabic we have dal,
Yep.
which does not have any dots,
Right.
but in Arabic we have also dal with a dot above it. But in
Exactly.
English we have just th, so you do not know is it that or tha.
Right,
There is no
right.
difference. You cannot differentiate between tha and that in English.
Very interesting, Usama, here. That's why we
Yeah.
missed you a lot in the last
Okay.
episode.
Maybe some people will say if you put ZA, that it didn't come close to Tha.
Right.
But it's
Yeah,
not,
Z and
it's not a rule. I think it's not a rule in English.
Right,
Then when it
right.
comes to it is written tha or that, or it is pronounced that or that.
Right.
It's not a rule.
Right.
Because there are many irregular forms for that.
Exactly.
I think to differentiate between Tha and Tha, you can, if you wish, you can write Tha with THA and Tha with ZA. It's good to differentiate. Or even if you want to differentiate, you can use this capital letter and small letters. You can have Tha with small letters and Tha with capital letters.
I think that's quite interesting. And again, yeah, Khalid.
I think some people actually make this mistake who are English speaker, like Tha and
Right.
Tha.
Right.
Sometimes they make mistake.
Right. Can you see that? I think that also we discussed that in the last episode, التفخيم والترقيق, or probably emphatic and non-emphatic sounds. And can you see that? And then we're going to have, in the upcoming episodes, we're going to have also the.
Dha.
And the.
Yes, and
Yep.
this is the confusion, Ahmed,
Yep.
that do occur between that and dha. Even Arabic speakers, native Arabic speakers, have problems in pronouncing that and dha.
Right.
And we find that I think it is very, very important letter and the alphabet to know, because in the Evergreen Quran, as we know, there is 940 words that begins with the sound
Oh my God! Well,
Yeah.
this is very interesting.
Okay, yeah.
More
So
than
we-
140 words.
Yeah, 940 words that begin.
Oh, I
Okay?
see.
This is not the number of the occurrence of that in every verse Quran, but I'm speaking about the initial position, the words that
Right.
begin with that.
Does it make any sense? Does it make any significance when we find more than 140 words in Quran starting with Dal?
think
I don't know, probably
it
could be.
defines the probably importance of the thought.
Right.
Like for example, you have also with start with alif of ya or defining that every single word valuable is in Arabic language. In English we have something like you can capital word and then you can probably categorize it differently, separately. But in Arabic, every single word is vital and important. Even though we don't have such a case, you have to write in capital letters to make it separate or stand out different. In Arabic, a normal letter like Zal can stand out its value separately. We don't have to make it resize it.
Right.
I think
Exactly.
also this number gives us the importance of the sound the. And that is why, Ahmed, I want you to repeat. I wanted to learn it. How we pronounce it.
Well, here is that. Well, that's a very important question. I think Osama now shoot me a missile.
Yeah.
Here is it. I would say when you pronounce it, we can say the. Just put your
The.
tip of the tongue.
The.
Here is
The.
that. Between the upper and lower teeth. I think we
The.
can discuss more about that in the following episodes. Here is that. The state of voicing, place of articulation, manner of articulation, place. Here is the point. I would say the.
That.
That. Yeah.
The. It's not z.
There's no Z voice in it.
Right. So it's again the.
That.
Well, the first thing here that we have to learn is we have a kind of vibration here at our vocal flaps. Can you see that? The. Very clear vibration here.
Yeah.
That's the first point. Secondly, place of articulation is interdental. That is correct. So what we have here, let me just get back again here to the oral cavity. Here is that. We have the tip of the tongue coming between the upper and lower teeth.
Yeah.
So that is, well, if you say that this is like zin, that's why today a lot of people say sirat al-lazina.
Yeah.
And that is, I would say, that's wrong.
Athena.
Which made the ones.
Exactly.
We translate the ones.
Well, the correct form to say sirata al-lazina.
الذين.
الذين
Athena.
So it's they'll not zin.
Yeah.
Exactly right. So here is the point that you have to put your tip of the tongue between the upper and lower teeth. And the final point here for writing the is that the airstream is released through a narrow opening or through a narrow gap.
I think it's a narrow space between your teeth and tongue.
Exactly, and that's why we have a kind of friction. That's why the sound is described also. at the
But there
friction
is some
levels.
different. If you put your tongue,
Yep.
the upper teeth,
No, between the upper and lower teeth. Here is it, Nabil. In this spot.
That.
you see
So
that?
we say
That.
that.
That. Right.
That.
Can you see that?
the,
Right.
and
That.
the air flow, the both side of tongue.
Exactly right. Right. So we say again. So let me just say it again. Please follow me in pronouncing it. That.
That.
Exactly right. Okay.
Can you give us some words that begin
Well,
with
sure,
that?
of course. We're
Yeah.
gonna discuss more about that in the following.
Something which is not starting with that, ending with that, or middle with that, which is more difficult to pronounce.
Right.
But we sometimes we can pronounce the when it comes fluently in the word, it's difficult for us to pronounce it particularly.
Yes,
That's
right.
right. For example, just giving example al-ladina. So this is the problem here.
I see. I think that Osama here agrees with you about this point.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay. But again, we have to be very clear, and we have a standard rule for that. So it's that. I sometimes made the same mistake, by the way. I'm not excluding myself. Yep. So now I would like here to move on to the following slide. And here we have, because Osama asked me now, how can you write it? Here is that, Osama. The sign of writing there, we write this letter by beginning above the line, slant down. Do you still remember that?
Yeah.
That, yeah.
It could be the same like that, but we just have one difference, which is dot. Okay. It looks like when we draw an angle, but less than 90 degrees, again, the distinction between this letter and the previous one is to put one dot
Thing-
above such.
That and that is like Jim, Che. Oh no, sorry, it's not Che. Jim,
Yep.
He,
Yep,
Che.
yep. Do you still remember the classifications?
Yeah.
We have ba, ta, tha.
Tha.
One classification is a classification, jim, ha, ha. And then we're going to have dal,
Dal.
zal. Also, we're going to have ra and the, thing. And then we have also ta and dha. And we have sad and
think,
dad, sin,
the-
shim.
Yeah,
The common
yeah.
thing in Arabic, I think, if you notice,
Yep.
the same size I think the dots play a so important role. They could change actual words.
Yes, actually.
Well, again, I would say when it comes to the size, it depends on the paper, it depends on the context, depends on the style of writing. I mean, we don't have any kind of specific size for writing dots or something like that.
I mean, you don't have to capitalize or bold something to make sure it stands out. You could just write normally and it still stands out.
Exactly, right. I think that Khalid also has a comment here. Khalid, go ahead, please.
I think that sometimes I also make this mistake like that and that.
Right, exactly. So it's a very simple difference between both because the Z actually is a kind of alveolar sound. So that means the tip of the tongue doesn't come in between.
I think it's go more of down, Z. It has this vibration with Z, go more towards down.
Right, exactly.
It's more like Z-double-E-Z.
Right. So here it is, Khalid. Can you see here that the tip of the tongue comes in between the upper and lower teeth? But when it comes to the name, for example, we put the tip of the tongue here in this part. Can you see that?
There.
In this part, right. Say it again, Osama.
There.
Okay, so here is that. So we say the,
Z. The.
Can you see that? Okay.
There. Yeah.
Well, so let me just get back again here to the style of writing and
The shapes of writing there.
exactly, Sam. I think that we're going to discuss more about that. But let me just have a look at this. I would like just to write that on the whiteboard. Here it is. Can you see this? It's the same as we did before for writing da. So we start here with a slanted line. Here it is in this way. And then we make a kind of straight line. Can you see that?
So it's the same thing.
Well,
Same
this is
thing,
probably the first part of writing that. Then we put just one dot.
What if you forget the dot?
If you forget it, if you forget stuff like that, you gotta change the word, the meaning of the words completely.
Maybe sometimes it doesn't make no sense, so there's no word.
I think that is
Like for example, if you remove the dot, the baba, that's no,
the baba and the baba, right?
that's nothing.
Well,
I mean, that's not no word.
I think, yeah.
Ahmed, are we using this sound in daily life speaking or daily life
Exactly, Sam. Well,
intercourse?
I think that probably could be important for those who are just.
I think
At
it's
the
more of
stage of learning.
it's more of that instead of that in daily life. I think when you speak like so fast, you don't pronounce it properly. You don't realize the importance of the pronunciation. It just goes the.
Right.
For example, Ahmed, we say that ida.
Either.
What is
Right.
that? Ida. What is that? So dah, not da. Yes, in classical Arabic it is the, which may something that is near. We refer to
Right,
something near.
right.
Da. But in daily life we say da.
Yeah,
Ida.
right. Or إذا فعلت
Yeah.
لو فعلت. Right.
Yeah.
I think that this is a very interesting point, and we can discuss more about that in the second part, my dear viewers. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
Those who love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for those who worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, for those who want to enter the Jannah, the paradise that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created for the believers. And that's why we need to learn and we need to get to know what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from us, so that we submit ourselves to the orders of Allah. And this is knowledge that we need to learn. Why we're spending more time to look into the verses and to the meanings of the verses in depth, so that we can get to learn from it what we need ourselves to be steadfast, to be obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to ponder over the meanings of the miraculous words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the second part of our program, Learn Arabic. I think that Osama asked a question here about sometimes we probably may not stick to the style of standard pronunciation of Arabic letters. Is that your question, Osama?
Yes.
And can you please give me examples for your point? I mean, like for example, إذا and ده or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I would tell you here something could be very important. What we are learning now is a kind of the standard style of Arabic. But when it comes to slang, I think we do have a lot of types in slang. I mean, I still remember when I was in Kuwait, I found people pronouncing ka as ja, like kifak, so you say kifaj.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the-
can you see that?
Yeah.
And I was actually very surprised about that. People pronounce calf as ja. And you said before that is in American English, we pronounce ta probably could be close to the voice da.
The
It's a kind of variations that can be found in language. So again, this is probably could be a kind of,
It could also be the culture, the communities.
Exactly.
They pick up from your community, you know.
I think you are absolutely correct about that. It's something related to the slang level or the level of how can a group of people pronounce it in such a way.
Maybe it's more of a, you know, talking in Latin community, in a separate existing community, not in when you on probably in a meet or in his professional life.
Right.
There, but you know, for example, in masjid, probably a imam going for dars, he uses either, not either, because he's not in a standard community.
Right.
He's not in his community. He's explained to everyone.
Exactly.
Everyone understands classic Arabic. Not everyone understands either. So I think it's more
Right.
of a community language.
And that's why, yes, you have a comment.
But I think that we cannot use this language in a classic language.
Right.
At the time we are going to letter or we are going to translation and other language with
Right.
the Arabic language,
Right.
we can't use this da or a da.
I think,
like that. It is the local language.
Local language, which is
Yeah.
not
I think
described as
I will probably disagree with him because if someone who's localized his language, who knows his language, you can still use it.
Yep.
It will give him better explanation rather than using either. Give him better explanation.
Right. I agree with you about this point. And I think that is why, if you would like just to learn Arabic just from the very beginning, you should start with the standard level of learning Arabic. Because again, if you just speak the Moroccan dialect, the dialect of Arabic language in Morocco, or in Algeria, or in Tunisia, then if you just move on to Egypt, then you can find people probably may not understand you well.
Yeah.
They will be confused about that. Probably if you speak Egyptian Arabic, they will understand you because of the Arab Egyptian media.
And I think, Ahmed, this is found in many languages.
Right.
Even we don't have English. We have English. We have levels of speaking. Okay, we have slang. Even we have in slang we have jargons.
Right,
Okay,
that's
so
right.
I think it's complicated. So we have to stick to the classical way of learning.
I would
think-
say Usam probably could be standard, not the classical. Because
Yeah,
the classical
standard,
probably
yeah.
is the
I
highest
think I agree
level.
with some. Even for example, even in London, and you see some Irish or Scottish or Welsh,
Yep.
it's difficult for us to understand the English, even though it's
Right.
English, but the accent is so different for us.
Right.
Yeah.
And the way they speak is difficult to understand what are they saying.
Yes, it applies to us.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
right. Khalid, you have a
Yeah.
comment. Yep.
I think that the English speaker normally this language, most of the letters are light.
Oh yes.
So when it comes to Arabic, it became difficult for some.
I
some
agree
heavy
with you.
letters, it became difficult.
Right. I think that this is very interesting to have something like that. Yep.
But I think in the Arabic language there is no letter that you cannot pronounce easy. Like that in for example,
I see.
we have in English CH,
CH, right.
cha.
Cha, right. That's right.
There is no in Arabic this sound.
I
Yeah.
see. I
Like
see.
that we have a sound ta.
Ta, right.
In Arabic you don't find this sound.
Exactly.
There
I think
is
that,
no.
I think
Yeah.
that Usama did talk about that in the last episode when he talked
Yeah.
about the minimum pairs, Usama.
Minimum pairs,
Stuff
yeah.
like that.
Yes.
And but yes, I'm sorry for interruption. Go ahead.
No problem.
Yeah, so here is the point that you can find, for example, a lot of linguistic features that can be found in different languages. And I would tell you here that is probably the only solution for such quagmire is just to find a standard rule for learning a lot of Arabic letters in the right and in the perfect form.
Yeah.
Now let me just get back again here to the style of writing
The-
The
that,
Yeah.
right. And here we have the first example in initial position. Do you still remember that when it comes to initial position?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's always disconnected.
Disconnected, right. So it's the same for that. And I would tell you here something that probably could be important, which is,
I think it's a combination running from the alif, ba, and tha, and jim, ha, and qa, and tha, and ra.
here's
and
my
tha.
point. You got my point, Mohammed. You're reading all my ideas in my mind. I think that's right. My point here is that if you just in Arabic can find a lot of letters that are classified in one category,
Yeah.
like for example, jim, ha, kha, ba, ta, tha.
I think it's a perfect sequence, and this was titles. The Arabic language is not difficult
Right.
compared to English. I mean, A, B, C, D, all are different.
Right.
Except B is slightly close to D. But
Exactly.
even you go forward, we could say E may be close to B as well. But as you go key forward, it's totally different. Every single letter is different. But in Arabic, you got ba, ta, tha, jim, ha, and qa, then you got dal and dal, and then you got ra and dha, za, and then you got sin, sheen, ta, dad, swad, and dad. So it's really, its sequence is really close, which make it easy for new users like me or others to understand and easy to write. You know.
Right, exactly. I think that is absolutely correct. Yep,
Yeah.
Nabil.
And also in Arabic language, there is very important dots. Dots.
Yep.
Like that, we have ba, ta, and tha.
Yep.
If you put
Right.
erase
Just-
dots, you
Yep.
cannot.
Exactly. I think that is
Yeah,
absolutely
don't
correct.
change the
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. So the bottom line here, dots are quite important in
Yeah.
writing Arabic to differentiate the meaning. Now let's now get back again to writing them in initial position. So it's always disconnected like that. Let me just write this word, which means in English fly. So we say in Arabic dubaba. Here is it. Please follow me.
Is it duba or
Dubaba.
Right.
Dubaba.
Right. So here is ba, and we are making a straight line for m. Here is it. We are writing a hook. We are putting just one dot for ba. Again, here is it. Another ba, and we are making ta, which is called in Arabic ta marbuta. Can you see that? Please follow me in writing it.
Like that?
Okay, let me just have a look at this, Usama. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that. Well, that's perfect, and that is awesome. And I like that style of writing. Can you say it again? So,
duba?
no,
Dubaba.
we say dubaba.
Dubaba.
And here we have a kind of dhamma.
Dubaba.
Right. Zu.
Zu.
So what is it?
What I think, if we drop the dot from the, it may be pronounced the baba. Okay.
Which means in English tank.
A tank.
Right.
Which is a tank.
But again, we have a difference. Usama, the baba.
yeah.
Something
I
could
think,
be different
yeah.
from zubaba. So we have a gemination on ba, which is
Gemination.
called shadda again. But I think that is very interesting note to have something like that. So again, the bottom line here for writing that when it comes to initial position, it's always disconnected. Right. Now let's move on here to the second part, which is when it comes in the medial position. Now, sometimes we can say it's connected. Sometimes, like for example, when we say bidra. Here is it. Let me just write that here.
Is bidha?
Bidra. It's a seed.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a seed, right? Something like that. So here is it. Again, please follow me because we are writing the alphabets that we discussed before.
Yeah.
Okay, here is it. So we have ba, and then we have that. Can you see that? Ba.
Yeah.
Again, I write ba and there. Here is it. And then I make ra, and then I make ta. Two dots.
Yeah.
Even I don't like the way that I put the two dots here.
Yeah.
So
It
I
looks-
can make that close to each other.
TGT.
But here is my point.
It looks like a nose with two eyes.
Right, just like that. So here is the point.
Yeah.
That when it comes in the medial position, connected.
It's connected.
And when you write that, we start from the bottom to the top. Can you see that? Which is something, of course, could be different from writing that when it comes in initial position. Because we start from the top side to the bottom side. Okay.
Is there any example of that being separated just like dal
Right.
in a medium position?
In the middle position, right. I think that is, dal probably could be distinguished because in dal we have this connected and disconnected when it comes to the middle position. I think for that, it's very common to find that connected with the previous one,
Yes.
not with the following one. It's the same for that. For that also, if it comes connected in the middle position, it should be connected with the previous,
Like in
not the following.
dal you go warada.
Right. What?
The dal is separate.
Okay, we're right.
Do you have something like in that?
I don't think so. I don't think so, Muhammad. Yes, Khalid, you have a
I
comment.
think the way you join dal and zal,
Yep.
the same joining.
The same joining, right?
Same way you join the both.
Exactly. So it will be the same features here. Yes, Nabil.
features.
I think that Nabil is thinking about something.
Yeah.
Yep. Please
we
go
were
ahead.
talking about the separate of dal.
Yep. Right. So
We
please.
can say that like dhurra,
But
but it is initial position.
initial
it's
position,
initial
right?
position.
Well, generally speaking, that or that when it comes to initial position, always disconnected. Okay. Now let me just find the position. Sometimes it comes connected. Can you see that? The word khudh, which means in English take. Let me just write that. I think we discussed before. How can we write kha? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So now
So
let me just here start with writing.
yeah, I
Yep.
can please. I can write.
Please,
it.
Sam,
Just
okay.
Test me. I want to test
Okay.
you.
Go ahead,
okay?
please. Yep.
Okay. So is it right?
Well, that is absolutely perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
thanks.
Well, I would like that to show that to all the people here,
Yes.
Sam. So here is that.
Thanks.
Ha, in this way. Well, again, so I would explain how can I write kha. We start first. We start with a small hook here,
Easy
slanted
hook.
line. We go after that for this straight line, and then we are making that here in this way. Khud. Can you write that, please? Please show me.
Yeah.
Show me how could you write it, please,
Write
Mohammed.
it
Show me.
again.
Okay, here is that. I like that. I like that style.
I think
Sama.
we've gone very close to that.
Exactly. Yep. So show me that,
Yeah,
please.
here again.
Here is that. Right. So here is my point. When it comes in the initial, in the final position, sometimes it comes. I think that it comes connected in the medial and in the final, but in the initial position we have also. Well, I would say here that and that both are close to each other. Now we have here different shapes.
I think
for-
that probably different between that and dal. That is, dal can be separate in middle position, but that
Right.
cannot be.
Right, exactly. That's right. I agree with you, Mohammed, about this point. Now let's move on here to them. Well, we have different shapes. I would like just to write all of such words, please. Please follow me. It's very important actually to write something like that. Okay. So let me start here with in the medial in the initial position. Here is the first one. So let me start here. We start with that. Okay.
Write it.
Yep. Another hook, and then we are making ta. We're going to discuss more about ta here, which is called ta marbuta. When we put
Yeah.
that here, I would like just to see how could you write it. Please show me that.
Yeah.
Where is the baba?
Dubaba, right. Exactly. Yep. Well, please, I want to see that.
Yeah.
Here is that. Right. Well,
Yeah.
that is awesome. Okay. I think that is time's running out. We're going to discuss more about how can you write then. After that, we're going to move to the following alphabets. My dear viewers, I think we can discover more about how can you write the Arabic alphabets. And I think that the only way I can tell you to do is just to practice, to train yourself, to write a lot, and also to pronounce, to imitate people in pronouncing Arabic letters. I think that we can discuss more about that also in the following episodes. Thank you for joining us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
A is for Allah, nothing but Allah. Ba is the beginning of Bismillah. Ta is for taqwa, bewaring of Allah. And Tha is for thawab, a reward. Ja is for Jannah, the garden of paradise. Ha is for Hajj, the blessed pilgrimage. Kha is for Khatam, the seal of the prophethood given to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.